Welcome to Civil Sum Up. In this lecture, we will discuss about the properties of bricks, and I have divided the properties of bricks in two categories. First one is physical properties and second one is engineering properties. So in physical properties, we will discuss about constituents of brick, shape, size, color and sound. In engineering property, we will discuss about density, compressive strength, durability, efflorescence and hardness, and water absorption capacity. So let's start with the physical property. In that, the first physical property is constituents of brick. So in that, the first one is silica. That is the main component of a bricks. That is, so it is around 50 to 60% of a good bricks and gives uniform shape, prevent cracking, sinking and warping of raw bricks. But it has disadvantage also. Excess use of silica causes the cohesion loss and makes the brick brittle and weak on burning. The next component is that alumina, that is 20 to 30% of a good brick, and it impart plasticity and helps in molding of bricks. The excess causes cracks in dry bricks. So the third component is lime, that is 4 to 5% is there, and keep in mind that the lime should be less than 10%, and it prevents the shrinkage in raw bricks. The excess of lime get converted into quick lime after burning, and which causes the melting and loose shape in presence of water. The next component is iron oxide, that is 5 to 6% is there. Whatever color we have seen, the red color or red cherry color, that is due to this iron oxide. So mainly the color is given by this iron oxide, that is 5 to 6% only. But the excess of iron oxide has disadvantage also. It excess causes the dark blue and blackish color to the brick on burning. Now talk about the magnesia, that is less than 1%, and it imparts a yellow tint and decrease the shrinkage. And the excess of magnesia causes the decay on bricks. Apart from this, there are 4 harmful ingredients also. First one is iron pyrites. Iron pyrites disintegrate bricks on burning and discolor the brick. Second one is alkalis, which causes white patches on the surface of the brick, called efflorescence. So the efflorescence caused due to the alkalis. And third one is the pebbles, which makes the brick weak and porous. And fourth one is organic matter, that is reduce strength and absorb more water and makes the brick void after burning. So let's talk about the second physical property, that is the shape. So a brick should be truly rectangular smooth surface and a sharp edge with square corner, and a indent of 1 to 2 cm deep provided on the top face of the brick, called as the frog. So I am not talking about this type of frog, I am talking about this. So the frog dimension is 10 cm by 4 cm by 1 cm, and the depth varies from 1 to 2 cm. Frog basically provided to get a good bond between mortar and bricks. Now the third physical property is the size. So a brick should have a standard size. First one is the traditional size, that is the 23 cm by 11.4 cm by 7.6 cm, and standard bricks, that is 19 cm by 9 cm by 9 cm, and nominal or modular bricks with mortar, that is 20 cm by 10 cm by 10 cm. The fourth physical property is color. A good brick should have a cherry red color or copper color and free from efflorescence, that is the white patches on the surface of the brick. So the brick should looks like this. This is the true color of a good brick. Now the fifth physical property is sound. So a good brick should have a good metallic sound. It should not give the dull sound when stuck to each other. Now that's all about the physical property. Now jump into the engineering property. The first engineering property is the water absorption capacity. The percentage weight of water absorbed in 24 hours of immersion at 27 degree plus minus 2 degree Celsius temperature of a dry brick. So according to the water absorption capacity, we can classify the bricks also. So if it is absorbed 12 to 15% of a weight of water of a dry bricks, so that is called as the first class brick. Similarly, 16 to 20% weight of water absorbed of a dry brick is called second class brick, and 20 to 25% is called third class brick. Now, the second engineering property is compressive strength, and this is the most important engineering property of a brick. Proper compressive strength gives the durability, a good life to the structure. So the first class brick should have a 10.5 Newton per mm square compressive strength. For the second class brick, 7 Newton per mm square, and third class brick, that is, should be greater than 3.5 Newton per mm square. Now, the third engineering property is density. So basically, the density of a brick, good bricks density varies from 1700 to 1900 kg per meter cube, and one brick weight is around 3 to 3.5 kg, and 1 meter cube of brick wall contain 500 number of bricks. So this line is most important. Most of the competitive exam also asked this question: how many bricks is required for 1 meter cube of brick wall? So that is the answer is 500 number of bricks. So keep in mind. The fourth engineering property is durability. So durability means a good life to the structure. So it should have a good lifespan like 100 years. Basically, durability depends on hardness, compressive strength, density, and other engineering properties also. Now, the fifth engineering property is hardness. And basically, hardness means it is the capability to resist the weathering action of the nature. And a good brick should not give any impression when we scratch by fingernails. And good hardness gives the better life to the structure, obviously. The sixth engineering property is the efflorescence. That is the white patches on the surface of the brick, and that is causes due to the excess of alkalis on the brick art that we have discussed earlier on the harmful ingredient section. The efflorescence should not be more than 50% of exposed area of the brick. So that's all about the engineering property of the brick. Now some key points we will discuss for the good bricks. The first one, it should have the standard size and no distorted shape. Second one, red cherry color and a smooth surface. Gives metallic sound when stuck to each other. Should not be scratchable by fingernail. Should be free from void and compact uniformly. Compressive strength should be greater than 10.5 Newton per mm square. And water absorption capacity should be less than 20%. So that's all about the properties of a good bricks, and in the next lecture we will discuss about the test and defect on bricks, manufacturing process, and the different type of the bricks and the uses. So thank you for joining with the Civil Sum Up. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.